If you are within 5 years of retirement and you live in any of the states I'm about to mention, this video is for you. Save it, share it with your spouse. Then, have a long, slightly uncomfortable conversation about your future. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud: not every state is built for retirees. Some states are actively hostile to your fixed income. Some states will tax your Social Security. Some states will charge you more for healthcare than your mortgage. Some states have weather that will literally kill you. I'm not being dramatic, we'll get there. These are the 10 worst states for retirement in 2026, ranked by a combination of tax burden, cost of living, healthcare quality, climate risk, and crime data. Stick around for number 1. It's the state that retirees keep moving to and then deeply regretting. 10. Connecticut. Connecticut is gorgeous. It's also one of the most expensive states in America to retire in. Property taxes are among the highest in the nation. The state taxes Social Security income above certain thresholds. The cost of living is well above average. Healthcare costs are high. If you have serious money, Connecticut works. If you're on a fixed income trying to make Social Security and a modest pension stretch, Connecticut will eat you alive in property taxes alone. The average property tax bill in the state is among the top 3 in America. 9. Massachusetts. Same general story as Connecticut, but worse on housing. The Boston area has some of the highest real estate prices in the country, and even rural Massachusetts is no bargain. Property taxes are high, healthcare quality is excellent but expensive, and while Mass doesn't tax Social Security, it does tax most retirement income. The cost of basically everything is above national average. For retirees with extensive savings, the quality of life is real. For retirees without, Massachusetts will make every month a math problem. 8. New Jersey. New Jersey has the highest property taxes in the country. Full stop. Not close. The average property tax bill in New Jersey is more than double the national average. That's the headline. Everything else is secondary. Yes, NJ exempted retirement income up to a certain amount. Yes, the healthcare is solid. None of that matters when your property tax bill is $12,000 a year on a modest home. New Jersey is hostile to fixed income retirees in a way that the state government has not figured out how to fix. 7. Illinois. Illinois doesn't tax retirement income. That's the bright spot. After that, the bright spots disappear quickly. Property taxes are the second highest in the country. The state's pension system is in a slow motion crisis. Tax increases are likely, sales taxes are high. Chicago is amazing, but it's getting expensive in ways that punish people on fixed incomes. The cost of living in downstate Illinois is more reasonable, but you lose the things that made Illinois interesting. And the climate, frankly, is rough on older bodies. 6. California. California is paradise if you can afford it. The cost of living is brutal. Real estate is the most expensive in the country in major metros. State income tax goes up to 13.3%. Healthcare costs are high. And insurance, homeowners insurance, fire insurance, earthquake insurance has been climbing fast. Add in wildfire risk, water uncertainty, and the general cost of just buying groceries, and California becomes a state where retirees who can't sell their home at a peak and move out simply hang on. The exodus of retirees from California has been one of the biggest demographic stories of the last decade for a reason. 5. New York. New York City is its own conversation, fantastic for retirees with money, hostile to retirees without. The rest of the state isn't much friendlier. New York taxes pensions and most retirement income above a threshold. Property taxes upstate are among the highest in the country. Income taxes are high. Healthcare quality is excellent but expensive. The cost of living varies wildly across the state, but even the cheapest counties carry tax burdens that retirees in lower tax states would find unbelievable. Upstate New York is beautiful and dying. The young people are leaving. The tax base is shrinking. The seniors who stay are increasingly the ones holding up an aging system. 4. Vermont. Vermont breaks my heart on this one. It's one of the most beautiful states in America, and it ranks among the worst for retirement. Why? Because Vermont taxes most forms of retirement income, has high property taxes, an extremely high cost of living for a rural state, and a healthcare system stretched thin by geography. If you have money, significant money, Vermont is incredible. The lifestyle is one of the best in America. But for retirees on average savings and Social Security, Vermont is one of the toughest states to make a fixed income stretch. 3. Hawaii. Hawaii is paradise. Everybody knows this. Here's what they don't tell you. It's also the most expensive state to retire in by almost every measure. The cost of living is the highest in the country. Groceries cost double what they cost on the mainland. A gallon of milk can be $9. Real estate is in fantasy territory prices. Yes, Hawaii doesn't tax Social Security, and pensions are partially exempt. None of that matters when basic existence is twice as expensive as anywhere else. Healthcare access is also tricky, specialists can be hard to find, and serious medical care often requires flying to the mainland. Hawaii works for retirees with significant assets and a high tolerance for sticker shock. For everyone else, it's a trap dressed up as paradise. 2. Louisiana. Now we shift modes. Louisiana isn't expensive, actually, it's relatively affordable. But it ranks among the worst states for retirees because of a brutal combination of healthcare quality, crime rates, and climate risk. Louisiana consistently ranks near the bottom for healthcare quality, with high rates of chronic disease, lower life expectancy, and shortages of specialists in rural areas. Crime rates in major cities are among the highest in the country. And then there's the climate. Hurricane season is now genuinely terrifying. Insurance is becoming difficult or impossible to get in coastal areas, and the long-term trajectory of the Gulf Coast is unsettled. Louisiana is full of culture, character, and great food. As a place to spend your retirement years, particularly your final, more medically demanding years, the data is hard to ignore. 1. Florida. Yes, Florida. Hear me out. The retirement state has become, for many retirees, a trap. Florida has no state income tax, which is the big sell, and that's real. But the rest of the picture has gotten complicated. Homeowners insurance in Florida has skyrocketed, premiums have doubled or tripled in many counties, and some insurers have pulled out of the state entirely. Hurricane risk is escalating, flood insurance is increasingly required even far inland. Healthcare quality in many Florida counties, particularly outside the major metros, ranks below the national average. The cost of living in popular retirement areas has surged dramatically. Property prices in Naples, Sarasota, and parts of Central Florida have made them out of reach for average retirees. And then there's the heat. As summers get longer and hotter, the appeal of Florida winters is increasingly offset by Florida Junes, Julys, Augusts, and Septembers that are genuinely dangerous for older bodies. Heat-related ER visits in Florida have climbed sharply over the last 5 years. Florida still works for the right retiree, wealthy, well-insured, willing to leave in summer. For the average retiree showing up with average savings expecting the 1990s Florida pitch, the math has changed. And not in their favor. That's the awkward truth nobody wants to put on a YouTube thumbnail. Florida is number 1 on the worst states list because it's still the place most retirees move to without doing the math. Do the math. 10 states. A lot of difficult truths. If you're retired or about to retire in any of these places, don't panic. Every situation is different, and every one of these states has retirees thriving. But the data is the data. Drop a comment. Did I get one wrong? Did I get one right? Where do you actually plan to retire, and what's the deciding factor for you? I read every reply. Subscribe for more. Next up, the surprise places Americans are actually moving to, the future boomtowns nobody's seen yet, and the secret towns where retirement is still affordable. Don't miss it. See you in the next one.